Air France, stylized as Air France, is the flag carrier of France headquartered in Tremblay, France. It is a subsidiary of the Air France-KLM Group and a founding member of the SkyTeam Global Airline Alliance. As of 2013, Air France serves 36 destinations in France and operates worldwide scheduled passenger and cargo services to 175 destinations in 78 countries and also carried 46,803,000 passengers in 2019. The airline's global hub is at Charles de Gaulle Airport, with Orly Airport as the primary domestic hub. Air France's corporate headquarters, previously in Montparnasse, Paris, are located on the grounds of Charles de Gaulle Airport, north of Paris. Air France was formed on 7 October 1933 from a merger of Air Orient, Air Union, Compagnie Générale Aéropostale, Compagnie Internationale de Navigation Aérienne, and Société Générale de Transport Aérien. During the Cold War, from 1950 until 1990, it was one of the three main Allied scheduled airlines operating in Germany at West Berlin's Tempelhof and Tegel airports. In 1990, it acquired the operations of French domestic carrier Air Inter and international rival UTA Union de Transports Aériens. It served as France's primary national flag carrier for 7 decades prior to its 2003 merger with KLM. In 2018, Air France and its regional subsidiary HOP carried 51.4 million passengers. Air France operates a mixed fleet of Airbus and Boeing widebody jets on long-haul routes, and uses Airbus A320 family aircraft on short-haul routes. Air France introduced the A380 on 20 November 2009 with service to New York City's JFK Airport from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport. Air France HOP operates the majority of its regional domestic and European scheduled services with a fleet of regional jet aircraft. Air France was formed on 7 October 1933 from a merger of Air Orient, Air Union, Compagnie Générale Aéropostale, Compagnie Internationale de Navigation Aérienne. In 1936, Air France added French-built twin-engine Pathé 62 aircraft to its fleet, featuring a two-compartment cabin that could accommodate 14 to 16 passengers. A high-wing monoplane, it had a wooden fuselage with composite coating while the wings were fabric covered with a metal leading edge. Equipped with Hispano-Suiza V engines, they were used on routes in Europe, South America and the Far East, although cruising at only 175 miles per hour. The Pathé 62 was a robust and reliable workhorse for Air France and remained in service until the Second World War, with one used by the Free French Air Force. On 26 June 1945, all of France's air transport companies were nationalized. On 29 December 1945, a decree of the French government granted Air France the management of the entire French air transport network. Air France appointed its first flight attendants in 1946. The same year, the airline opened its first air terminal at Les Invalides in central Paris. It was linked to Paris Le Bourget Airport, Air France's first operations and engineering base, by coach. At that time, the network covered 160,000 kilometers, claimed to be the longest in the world. Société Nationale Air France was set up on 1 January 1946. European schedules were initially operated by a fleet of Douglas DC-3 aircraft. On 1 July 1946, Air France started direct flights between Paris and New York via refueling stops at Shannon and Gander. Douglas DC 4-piston engine airliners covered the route in just under 20 hours. In September 1947, Air France's network stretched east from New York, Fort-de-France and Buenos Aires to Shanghai. By 1948, Air France operated 130 aircraft, one of the largest fleets in the world. Between 1947 and 1965, the airline operated Lockheed Constellations on passenger and cargo services worldwide. In 1946 and 1948, respectively, the French government authorized the creation of two private airlines, Transports Aériens Internationaux, later Transports Aériens Intercontinentaux, and SATI. In 1949, the latter became part of Union Aéromaritime de Transport, a private French international airline. Compagnie Nationale Air France was created by Act of Parliament on 16 June 1948. Initially, the government held 70%. In subsequent years, the French state's direct and indirect shareholdings reached almost 100%. In mid-2002, the state held 54%. On 4 August 1948, Max Hymans was appointed the president. During his 13-year tenure, he would implement modernization practices centered on the introduction of jet aircraft. In 1949, the company became a co-founder of Société Internationale de Télécommunications, Aeronautiques, an airline telecommunications services company. In 1952, Air France moved its operations and engineering base to the new Orly Airport South Terminal. By then, the network covered 250,000 kilometers. Air France entered the jet age in 1953 with the original, short-lived de Havilland Comet Series 1, the world's first jetliner. During the mid-1950s, it also operated the Vickers Viscount turboprop, with 12 entering services between May 1953 and August 195.